Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee. Today's video is going to be 7 things that I want to get rid of this year. So this is going to be part 3 of my New Year's series for January. So basically, if you guys aren't caught up, I'm just doing some New Year's resolutions that I have for myself. The first 2 were how to be confident and how to not care what people think. I have 2 more coming. Friday is going to be the video that I missed out last week, and then the following Wednesday will be the last and final part of the New Year style content. These are just some things that I personally wanted to change about myself this upcoming year/decade, and thought it would be really fun to share kind of my research and my goals and all that kind of stuff with you guys. If you guys want to watch those as well, I'll have them linked in the description box. So like I mentioned, this is going to be 7 things that I want to get rid of this year/decade. I just don't want to partake in any of these negative behavior traits anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just dive right into it. I have my handy dandy list right here. So the first thing is expectations. I was actually in yoga yesterday. The yoga instructor said what we're going to do for this class is just release all expectations of the pose that we're going to put ourselves in. Because a lot of the times in life, we have these expectations for the situations or the people that we interact with, and most of the time those expectations don't happen because first of all, you can't predict the future. Second of all, not everything is perfect. And third, this is not just your life. Like, you can't just expect everything to go your way 100% of the time. And when things don't go your way, you get very disappointed and you have negative emotions towards it. You get unhappy, sad. You're setting yourself up for failure when you have expectations towards something. Also, you're kind of creating a threshold for yourself. So when you have expectations for work or your workout schedule or for certain relationships that you have, whether that's your children or your significant other, you're putting a threshold for what you're expecting. So first of all, you have a high point of how you expect things to go. So once you reach that, you probably can't burst through that and go to even a higher potential than you were expecting. But also you have a threshold to obtain, which is on the bottom. And a lot of the times we don't break through that, which just totally ruins our relationships and life experiences. It's really hard to put expectations, your expectations that are very personalized to you, onto other people because they aren't you. Who are you to have expectations? And imagine like you have expectations and that person has expectations of you. Obviously they're gonna be very different. No one's gonna win, and it's just gonna ruin your relationships, ruin your work, ruin goals that you have for yourself. It's just like not good. We may have such high expectations for something that when it goes really well, we're still not satisfied because it didn't reach our expectation of what we had of that situation. You can't even enjoy life and you can't even enjoy the unexpected because you have expectations and you have this little box and bubble of what you want life to be, and that's just so unhealthy. I want to learn this year to kind of just let situations be, let life be, let people be, and just enjoy the process and deal with situations that I may not have expected. There was something that I found in my research. It says the equation for happiness is happiness equals reality minus expectations, because expectations a lot of the times come with heartache. Another one that I came across was expect nothing, appreciate everything. The second one that I have is impatience, which kind of correlates with grumpiness. So you can be impatient. When you think of impatience, you think of like lines, road rage, like that kind of stuff, but I'm kind of talking more in terms with yourself. Everyone's dealt with someone who's been impatient when you are not in an impatient state of mind, and it really drags your energy down. I've been around people who have been super impatient. I just hate being around them. It's such a negative energy and it just makes me feel very uncomfortable, and I don't ever want to give other people that feeling. But I am a very impatient person. I just want to make it a huge goal of mine to learn patience. I grew up around a lot of impatient people in my life, and I'm dating somebody who is the most patient human being I've ever met in my life. He sometimes will like call me out on my impatience. I've honestly worked on it so much since I've started dating Noah. Where I was 7 years ago, I'm in a completely different space, but I'm still working on it. I think impatience is something that everyone kind of has to work on throughout their lives, but I just want to learn how to be more and more patient every day. A lot of people get impatient with themselves because, you know, they slip up on something, which is an expectation, or struggling with something that is internally messing with them and they get impatient with themselves. There's just so much stuff to be impatient with. So again, with my research, I found something that kind of just clicked for me. Patience is to see. Without it, we won't enjoy as much. We see and we hear less. And when we rush, we don't have meaning that life brings us. Patience isn't the ability to wait, but it's the ability to enjoy while you're waiting. I don't know, I just really liked that. But back onto my boyfriend, he's European and I'm American, and those way of lives are completely different. Europeans have a very slow pace of life. When I went to Paris, for example, like when you eat, they look at food and like a meal when you're going out as almost like a celebration and a social event rather than like eating a lot of food and focusing on the food. They focus on like the experience. So when I went to Paris, like I would sit at a restaurant and they would like wait a significant amount of time to even give you your menu. They give you your drinks and then they wait again and then they come back with the food, and you're at the restaurant for such a long time. Whereas in America, you get in, you're out very quickly. They rush you, they give you the check very quickly, and it's just a very quicker pace of life. I think Americans think time is money and Europeans think time is precious. They have more vacation time. They have just like a slower pace of life. So dating someone from that lifestyle, I can see how important patience is. Noah's very, very wise. He's been through a lot, and he always tells me that one of the biggest things in life that you need is patience. Like you just can't live without patience. It's super, super important. It is important because when you do rush through things and you become impatient, you're not enjoying life and you're not being in the moment. You're so rushed that you're not even seeing or hearing anything that's happening, and you're just like not in this present state of mind. Noah can literally watch a piece of grass grow and just sit outside and do nothing and just watch nature, and I find that so beautiful. The third thing that I want to get rid of this year or decade is to stop leaking my emotions. So this might be a little bit confusing, but I feel like in life there's like a pie chart and you have different parts of your life. For example, you have like your social life, you have your work life, you have your education life, you have your relationship life, you have your personal life. There's just different parts of the pie. A lot of the times when something goes wrong in one portion of the pie, it leaks on to other parts of your life. For example, if something at work happened, got you in a really upset mood, that energy can feed off into your friends. When you're with your family, that energy can feed off into there. When you're trying to work on your personal life, like meditation or working out, it can leak into that and get you unmotivated. And I want to stop doing that. I want to put my mindset where I am in the present moment in my pie. I want to learn how to turn that off when I'm not presently in that situation that's bothering me. The fourth thing is toxic behavior traits. This is something that I talked about in my Q&A. I think it's really, really important to understand and be aware of your toxic traits. If multiple people are telling you something and they're all kind of telling you the same thing, maybe there's a truth to it. And you have to kind of swallow your pride and listen to the people around you. If you find yourself struggling with something in life, maybe look at yourself and see what can I do and what am I doing right now that's not really helping the situation, and focus on improving yourself. I hate the articles that say how to deal with toxic people, characteristics of toxic people. Everyone has toxic traits. There's no toxic person and everyone can fix their toxic traits. I don't think it's necessarily bad to have a toxic trait. Becoming aware of it and trying to fix it is just extremely commendable. So I wrote down all of my toxic traits. One of them obviously is impatience, but impatience with uncomfortability is something that I struggle with. If anything happens in life that I'm uncomfortable with, that's when I tend to get a little bit impatient and I can't deal with things when I'm uncomfortable. I think because the way I grew up in a comfortable environment. I always had people to rely on. I had a family to rely on. I had a really good education, live in a really safe area. When I'm ever in a state of uncomfortability or things that I'm not, accustomed to, that's when I get a little bit impatient and uncomfortable, and I want to learn how to deal with those certain things. Another thing is I've been actually very, very good with this. Anytime you judge anyone for anything that you don't necessarily agree with, I find extremely ignorant. I was watching the Joe Rogan Experience with Russell Brand. Russell Brand is like a die-hard vegan. Not die-hard, but he's a vegan and lives a very vegan lifestyle. And Joe Rogan hunts. They were having, not a debate even, they were just trying to understand each other, and instead of pushing each other's views onto each other, they were really, really trying to understand the perspective and way of life of the other person without pushing their way of life. And it was just amazing conversation. I'll link it down below if you guys want to watch it. And there was a quote that he said that I was just like, yes, I've let go of judging people around things that I don't agree with because I reckon I don't know everything. And a lot of the times when people have very, very strong opinions on something, especially on like a topic that is extreme, like politics, religion, diet, they think they know everything. Your right way of living is very subjective. Everyone has a different way of life. Everyone has a different family, a different culture, a different background, a different upbringing, a different mind and brain. So your right is not going to be right for everyone else. And to sit there and think that your way of life or your views are correct, it's just so ignorant to me. And so when we learn to not push our views onto other people and understand other people and let them be and embrace the uniqueness of everyone and everyone's opinion, imagine life. How freaking freeing that would feel. I could just get off on this. But yeah, so judgment in general, anytime I ever do that, I really try really hard to catch myself. Any type of selfishness that I have, I opened up about this a lot in my Q&A, like interrupting people, for example, which I find myself doing sometimes. Been really trying to work hard on that. Putting expectations on certain situations of people is a very selfish way of thinking, which I've caught myself doing before. Doing things that's for the benefit of me only and not for other people. And then also, I'm a very controlling person. I have like very bad OCD-like tendencies, and when things don't go perfectly as planned, expectations, I kind of get uncomfortable and impatient. I just want to learn how to be like less controlling and like let things flow more, let life flow more, have less structure and like, you know, that stuff. So journal out your toxic traits and see what you want to work on, because a lot of the times, like I just kind of figured out, they're all kind of like intertwined with each other. So those are my toxic traits. The fifth thing that I want to get rid of is people pleasing, and I am so thankful that I have this mindset because I'm over it. Letting the fear of people's judgment of me dictate who I am. So I actually tweeted something again last night. I kind of like had this like aha moment when I was driving. I was like, if you people please, it's a really nasty habit because you're pleasing others at the expense of being yourself. You don't fear the disagreement of others or the judgment of others. So I opened up a lot in my Q&A, and I would have totally never done this a year ago because I would be afraid that, you know, someone might not agree with it, some people might not follow me or support me anymore, and I'm just so over that. Some people didn't like it, but that's okay. I spoke my mind. I was true to who I was. I'm not gonna sit here and try to hide myself from people because I'm afraid that you guys won't like me or you don't agree with my lifestyle. Again, it kind of goes back to like just letting people be who they are without judging them. And oh my God, I think a bird just fell off my, I think he fell off the roof or something. Just like stop people pleasing, stop trying to put a front on that you think other people will like. Like just be yourself, and if they don't like it, like just okay, fuck off. Like that's their problem, not yours. Number 6 is deceptive spirituality, illusionary. All right, so I kind of got into this wormhole of spirituality, these magical self-help books. I learned so many valuable lessons from gratitude, appreciation, taking action towards your goals, thinking positively. Like there's so much good in spirituality, but I feel like there's so much bad. And again, I'm gonna be making a whole separate video about this that I have so many things to say about, but I'm so over the word manifestation and manifest your dream goal, the crystals, and all this like magical voodoo, like la la land, losing touch of reality kind of lifestyle. So I'm over that. That's something that I want to get rid of this year, is like the fakeness of it all. And again, I know that's kind of like a very surface level explanation, but I'm gonna dive into this in a huge video that I'm just like just wait for it, trust me. The 7th thing is unnecessary fluff. So this means over planning, over structuring my life. Things that don't bring any sort of value in my life. When I sit there and plan my life like crazy and I spend hours on planning, hours on prepping and preparing for doing things, I lose touch of the whole purpose, which is the action of taking the steps to actually do it. I love planning. I will never stop planning. I love organizing. I will never stop organizing. I love structure. I love routine. But I simplified it and I got rid of the unnecessary fluff. I feel like sometimes people put pressure on you that you need to do all these different steps and things to like accomplish something, but it's very simple. For example, diet, eat healthy and work out, done. Some people like go crazy and they go into diets and fads and restrictions and it's all this stuff that's just like so unnecessary. When you sit there and create unnecessary fluff, you create redundance in your routine, and that just like takes away from actually accomplishing anything. So I'm gonna eliminate the complexity of it all and kind of just get straight to the point. And even in my words and stuff, sometimes I would be afraid of like, what's the word, empty spaces in conversation or the flow of conversation. Like I felt the need to like keep a conversation up going, otherwise people, I don't know, I thought like I would come across as not being able to have a conversation. But I'm not going to sit there and throw unnecessary fluff into a conversation just so that we don't have a pause. Allow like the emptiness and the flow of the conversation and just chill the fuck out. People do this now too in like books. They write a 4-line sentence when they could have just had a 1 sentence. I'm just like a very simple, straight to the point kind of person. I'm over the fluff and unnecessary stuff. So that's the 7th thing, but I have here some things that I hope for society to get rid of this decade. I would love to see a society without, like I mentioned, the pushing of opinions. I don't like when people try to put their views out as if they are correct and that you should adopt their way of life. It's just so, it's like, probably one of my biggest pet peeves, and understanding the purpose of everyone having different opinions. I would also like to see society get rid of Hollywood. If you guys watched the opening act, I think it was the Oscars, of Ricky Gervais, he said it perfectly. I feel like it's a very dark thing. There's a lot of like control that they have a lot of power, they have a lot of really dark bad things that happen in Hollywood, and I kind of want to see Hollywood and film go in the direction of like how modeling went this past year. They used to have like agencies had a specific look, and you had to have a way in. A few people could even have the opportunity to be a model. Now modeling is more like you can model, you can go on Instagram and become an Instagram model. You can embrace the uniqueness of every single body. There is no such thing as a model now. Like when you think of like a model, like anyone can model. It's not the models and the modeling agencies with a specific body type, look, and behavior. It's literally, we appreciate all types of body shapes and genders and, you know, uniqueness of everyone. So I would love to see Hollywood and film go in that direction, and I feel like YouTube was starting to do that in terms of like letting anyone kind of create art. For me right now, I feel like YouTube is kind of understanding that. They were going towards a route that I was not necessarily like agreeing with, push, you know, celebrities and people with power in certain videos because they play certain ads and stuff like that. I'm not even gonna get into it, but I think they're listening to the people who are communicating this, because they're trying really hard to push more creators content and people who are just like everyday people, so that we can get a little bit of it all. So I just would really like to see Hollywood kind of like go away. I also forgot to mention, music is like this right now, where it's not all like mainstream radio music from pop stars only. Like there's SoundCloud now. I think with the use of Spotify now, people can literally just make music at home, discover new people, discover new genres, and there's no like box that people fit in now, and I really hope that made sense. I saw the opening monologue of Ricky Gervais. Everything that he was saying, I was like, yes, 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 yes. I was like, oh, people are not gonna like this, but I was shocked and surprised at how many people agreed with what he was saying, and the fact that they agreed with it, I was like, okay, we're on the right track. Like, it's not just me thinking this, it's like everyone. Also over like flex culture, so people who are pushing materialism onto other people, I would really like to see people have deeper meaning and things that kind of like change the world. Like, I don't understand how people watch that or even like that, because to me there's no purpose in that. I mean, I understand like it's fascinating, but I just don't understand how many people actually like watch this stuff. And people who idolize like Hollywood and flex culture in general, I really hope to see that die down a little bit. I'd rather see people like idolizing people who are making a difference or helping you in some sort of way. And then also cancel culture, I'm so over that. Like, media now spreads like wildfire, and a lot of it is very false because we get it so quickly that there's not even time to process what happened. But also people can exaggerate certain stories. People cancel people all the time for the dumbest freaking reasons that I get so annoyed at, and I'm like, why are we doing this? People are so, first of all, opinionated, second of all, sensitive. Like, why don't we just like let it go and live our own lives and stop trying to ruin other people's lives? Those are my little dreams and hopes for the world and world peace. I challenge you guys to journal out some things that you want to get rid of this year, or things that you would like to see change in society. If you guys are open to it, please comment down below. I would love to read through them. That would be so much fun for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. There will be another one of these on Friday, so don't forget to check that out. And then one more on Wednesday. And then a vlog on Monday. Pretty sure another vlog on the Friday after that. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys all in Friday's video. Bye, guys. Ow, ow, my arms, I mean my legs.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums.